So today is International Women's Day, and you know what that means? It's time for the mainstream media to go batshit crazy that women aren't more powerful than they already are. So this time from the Huffington Post, it talks about how it's a day call to action. From courts to Congress to corporate boards, it's time for parity. So basically, it talks about all the special days when people were allowed to, or women were allowed to vote in the U.S. and the first women that hit milestones. All right, fine. These are great milestones, but that's not it. These accomplishments illustrate we have to go miles to go with several stones in the way. These women may be first, but they're not collective force representing an equal footing of skill to their male colleagues. And it talks about how they don't have enough people in the House of Representatives, less than 20%. And talking about the CEOs of the S&P 500, or 4% of the CEOs are CEOs, and of the Fortune 1000 board seats, just 20% are currently held by women. And so it talks about how other countries have had a lot more parity in regards to having more women in the government. And so gender parity by 2025 must be an objective of all U.S. congressional leaders, CEOs, board chairs in the corporate world, and all other sectors. So basically, they're saying we need a quota. We need more women because women are 51% of the population, then therefore there should be 51% of women in all these positions. Now, let's think about this for a moment. Why are we only applying this to women? You know, we could apply this to, we could apply this to African Americans. If they're 12% of the population, they should be 12% of everything, right? Okay, we could do that. How about children? I mean, children are like 15% of the population, so shouldn't children make up 15% of the, the CEO boards of the Fortune 500 companies? That would only be fair. How about midgets? Midgets take up less than 1%, maybe 0.01%. But there aren't any midgets anywhere, basically, in any of these high-falutin sort of positions. We need to insert some midgets in there just for clarity. There's a lot of fish on the planet. In fact, there's more fish than people, right? Why don't we put some fish in there? If we're going to install a quota system, let's not half-ass it. Let's just go it the full way. Let's apply the same principle. Let's not look at the fact that some people are actually good at some jobs and some people actually deserve to be there and that they worked really hard. We're just going to focus on what's in between their legs. Did it ever dawn on this person? What is her name? I have to check for her name. Janice Reels Elig, whatever you are. Did it ever dawn on you, Janice, that possibly the reason why 20% of the 4% of the CEOs of the S&P 500 are women? Is it possible because women don't want to be CEOs as much? Is it possible that maybe they have other choices? Maybe they would rather have children, and if you have children for 5 years, well, then you're not going to be working as much. So companies are going to hire people that have more work experience, and if men can't have children, then they're more likely to work longer. Is that possible? Is it possible that companies don't want to hire women as much because then they have to pay for all the maternity leave, and that's expensive, and your skills atrophy in that time? Is that possible? There's a reason why these businesses are acting in this way and why the government is acting in this way as well. It's because people are making life choices. So if women tend to choose things that are not power-based, that they don't want to be CEOs, then are you going to force them in there just because they don't have a penis? Is this really how we're going to run the world? So no, obviously, fine. It's Women's International Day, whatever that means, and woohoo, yay, we can celebrate being a woman. I'm waiting for the International Man's International Day. I'm still waiting for that. But fine, celebrate it. But, give up on this bullshit about how everything has to be exactly equal, because I don't think you want a lot of fish running your government or your company.